What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Workout 101. This is Mike McErlane, president and co-founder of Gym Supplement Science. So today we're going to be talking about the military press. I see a lot of people doing it. Obviously, this exercise is predominantly so that you guys can build out those boulder shoulders. But there are some mistakes and some techniques and some flaws that you want to be aware of to do it correctly so that you can get the most out of this exercise. So let's get it done. So traditionally, most gyms have the military station or the military bench, right? You can do this from a seated position, as I'm doing here, which gives you a little bit more stability based on when you're actually wanting to have the stability. If not, you can actually do it from a standing position. So a lot of athletic settings, such as a strength and conditioning setting at a college or a high school or just a normal gym, will have you doing it in the standing position, because they want to mimic and actually engage more of the core stability versus having a bench. However, to maximize the amount of load that you're using with this exercise to hit the muscles correctly to where you can actually grow it, you want to use a stationary bench like this in a seated position with some stability. It gives you a little bit more strength, okay? So first of all, a lot of people when they do it, I see mistakes being made to where when they unrack the bar, they're not necessarily thinking about the hand width position. The gnarling on the bars and the smoothness in these rings are going to give you a good indication about where you need to be. What you want to do is when you actually have your arms out here, you want to make sure that this part of your arm is in that vertical position the entire time. You don't want to go too wide. Some people think, oh, the wider the better. That's not necessarily the case. With dumbbells, that can be the case. So what you want to do is get a shoulder width, outside shoulder width grip position, okay? Typically what I do is I put my middle finger around here. For me, that's about right. The biggest mistake I see people do is when they actually do this, they will go behind the head, okay? Now, is that something to never do? No, there's a time and place to do it. I would never go behind the head with a freestanding barbell. And the reason for that is because you actually open up the glenohumeral joint, which can compromise the ligaments in the shoulder. So a lot of guys who actually do behind the neck military presses, there's a couple things. They have a forward lean with their head to get the bar behind their head, which can cause a cervical injury, right? Coming down here and tucking your chin, that's not what you want to do. The other thing is too, is because my elbows are so flared out, I'm opening up that glenohumeral joint. If I'm doing heavy weight and I have that glenohumeral joint opened up, I can compromise it with injury if I tweak something. So predominantly what you want to do is you want to keep this barbell in front of you the entire time. Coming down, flaring the elbows out, down by the chin or even a little bit lower if you have to, and pressing back up. Keeping the head neutral. You don't want to look up, you don't want to look down. Keeping the head neutral and just tuck your chin back to where that spine is in perfect alignment, okay? Now, a couple different variations that you can do, because remember, the deltoid has 3 different deltoid heads. You have your anterior deltoid, lateral deltoid, and rear deltoid. If you're doing a military press, the primary muscle group involved is the anterior as well as the lateral deltoids. The emphasis of which one's going to do the most work and have the most stress applied is based on the positioning of the elbow. So as I said, some people want to flare their elbows out. That's fine if you come down in front. Some people, if you want to hit more of the anterior deltoid, still flare the elbows out, just position the arms more forward so the bar is not going to come as close to your chin. So in this case, you unrack it, and as you come down here, you can see my elbows are more in front of me, but the bar is a little bit more forward in front of my chin. That is going to hit more of the anterior deltoid versus coming down here, flaring the elbows out and coming closer to my chin. Just this little position change is going to really make a difference based on the muscles that you're hitting and targeting and not compromising both the AC joint as well as the glenohumeral joint. So make sure you guys, if you want to do this exercise, try it on a shoulder press station or a bench. If you don't have this, it's perfectly fine to use a power rack to where you can unrack the bar, put a bench down there, and do a modified version there. You can also do this exercise with the Smith machine, okay? In this case, this is where going behind the neck is okay because you're on a stationary, fixed plane of movement here. to where the risk of injury goes down because you don't have so much free movement in the barbell. Injuries happen when technique is compromised due to strength. So a lot of times, you're always trying to go heavier with weight, and when you do that, you have to put yourself in the correct biomechanically positioned station to where you're not compromising that movement because you're trying to do the most weight. So it's always important, technique over strength. So I hope that this version and these tips helped with the next time that you guys do the military press. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and share button if you guys thought that there was any value to this particular video. Until next time, it's Mike McErlane. Take care.